What is up, guys? It's your boy, Full Auto Cacus, and today we are going to be showcasing what most people consider to be one of, if not the, best auto rifles in all of Destiny 2, and that, of course, is the Rufus's Fury. Now, I wanted to wait until I could actually craft this thing so I could put on the perfect rolls, so took me a while to get this thing because it is a drop from the Root of Nightmares raid, so you have to get it to drop one time naturally, and then you can buy it a maximum of a guaranteed red border once every week. Now you can get it a lot sooner if you're lucky, but Bungie must have accidentally turned off my streamer loot for the past 5 years, so I don't know what's going on there, but again, this thing is a very exciting weapon. Part of that reason is because it is Strand, and of course, Strand just being introduced this season with the drop of the Lightfall Expansion means that we don't have a ton of Strand weapons within the available arsenal, so every single one is at a premium. And this isn't just exciting because it's Strand, it's exciting because it has outrageously good stats. It belongs to the rapid fire frame archetype, which is considered to be one of the better damage archetypes. Oh, and auto rifles just got a massive 25% damage buff within PvE in the recent mid-season update. So right now, this thing is schlappin'. Let's go over what it can do and what you may want to consider putting on your Rufus's Fury. Now, first off, the origin trait for this weapon and all weapons from this raid is Harmonic Resonance. Equipping multiple weapons from this set grants this weapon increased reload speed and handling. It also increases damage versus Tormentors, Lucian Hive, and Guardians using their supers. Thankfully, there are a number of pretty decent weapons from the Root of Nightmares raid, so schlapping on, for example, the Linear Fusion Rifle in your heavy, which is very, very good, can improve the performance of both of those weapons. Now, overall, is this the best origin trait? Not really. It's pretty average. I mean, compare it to another raid origin trait, Soul Drinker from VOW, where you literally heal every time you reload. Yeah, I would take that over this any day of the week. But we need to talk about this weapon's main downside, and that is the fact that it's Strand. Now, some of you may be going, wait, weren't you just saying that it's good that it's Strand? And I was, because frankly, being Strand is a double-edged sword, with the downside being it does less damage. Now, here's what I mean. When I shoot this enemy in the body, I do 1,337 damage. I switch to another rapid-fire auto rifle, same mod, but it's kinetic, and that does 1,470 damage. That's 10% more damage that the kinetic weapon gets, and that's because Bungie does this intentionally because kinetic weapons don't do any sort of extra damage against shields. Now, there's not very many Strand shields in the game, so in reality, you're just going to be doing 10% less than other kinetic auto rifles. And again, that is a pretty serious downside. Now, on the other hand, the upside is that there are significant Strand synergies. So, if we look at the seasonal artifact, Allied Unraveling can give you unraveling rounds just by using this weapon, actually pretty darn good. And there's also going to be Threaded Blast, where you have to use a Strand weapon to destroy a Tangle, and it does a huge explosion. Now, frankly, if you have either one of these unlocked, the Strand weapon is probably going to start to outperform the kinetic weapon because of these. However, they are going away at the end of the season. Now, we could get more incredible Strand artifact perks next season, but we don't know. Now, some more permanent benefits come if you're actually using a Strand subclass. There's fragments like this one here, Thread of Rebirth, that actually give you benefits for using Strand weapon final blows, right? And in addition to that, if you are running a Strand subclass, you can use harmonic armor mods that give you a significant energy discount for using the same element of weapons that your subclass is, in this case Strand. So it's really up to you to determine if these benefits are worth 10% less damage. In my opinion, if you're running Strand, the Rufus's Fury is 100% a no-brainer. If you're not, then kinetic weapons start to look a little bit better. However, that's offset by the fact that, again, the Rufus's Fury has insanely good perks, and you're likely going to be able to craft a roll with this weapon that's going to be better than 99% of kinetic auto rifles out there. So here is the god rolls you want to look at. Now, because this weapon has such good stats, you can actually make a PvP roll for it. We're not really going to be talking about that today. In PvE, I think intrinsically, range isn't a bad idea because that is where this archetype usually lacks. Then the barrel is really up to you, it's personal preference. After that, I did go with appended mag. It's going to give you a nice increase to your magazine size without hurting any of your other stats. After that, now you could go in this first perk slot with reconstruction to potentially double the magazine. That's pretty insane, but I did end up going with demolitionist. I love this perk. It's going to just give you passively more grenade energy for every single kill. No matter which build you're using, grenades are always good. And of course, if you're using an actual grenade focused build, demolitionist, especially in this left column, which isn't that common, is a no-brainer. After that, in the second column, there are a lot of great perks. Target lock is going to significantly increase single target damage. Adrenaline Junkie is a clear pairing with Demolitionist, increasing the damage and going right up to, I think, 35% if you throw a grenade. Not to mention Paracausal Affinity is an easy way to get damage increases. And if you want to go all in on Strand, like if you really want to use those kinetic weapons outside of Strand, you're using this only when you use a Strand subclass, Hatchling really isn't a terrible idea. But overall, I ended up going with Frenzy. The reason being is because just for a general purpose roll, Demo plus Frenzy is going to serve you so darn well. Frenzy is going to offer 15% more damage when it triggers and faster reload speed, and Frenzy scales extremely well into later level content because against more powerful enemies, you can trigger it without having to actually get a kill first, which will let you secure that kill against the Grandmaster enemy you're trying to gun down, right? So I really do like Frenzy. So that is my preferred god roll for PvE, but again, you can customize this thing for whatever you want to use it for. I think there's a lot of arguable god rolls, but really no matter which route you choose, the first thing you're going to notice is that this thing just slaps. It is so darn powerful. One of the reasons is because even though it's a rapid fire frame, it is deadly accurate. Like, you can put this thing over a red bar at a pretty significant distance away and it'll just be all precision numbers. This thing really doesn't move. It doesn't have very much recoil. And that is one of the main benefits of using the Fury over something like a 900 RPM SMG. Those are probably still going to outperform the Fury up close. Now, the Fury is no slouch close quarters. You can hip fire down enemies no problem, but really it's in those medium to medium long ranges where it really starts to outperform a 900 RPM SMG that's recoiling all around and all of that stuff. You can really lay down some impressive fire and do some really good damage at those medium to long ranges. You can extend your engagement length out, and if you are doing higher level content, that is a pretty big benefit. You don't want to be shooting guys right up in front of your face because that's where they're the most deadly to you as well. You want to be behind cover and be able to deal with guys, stun champions, and even like gun down champions at an arm's length for safety. And so guys, overall, I think the Rufus's Fury is one of the most desirable PvE primaries in the entire game right now. I know some people have poo-pooed this thing because it is Strand and it does that 10% less, but you've got to remember that Bungie said Strand is going to be like a featured element all year because it's the new hot thing. So expect a lot of Strand Surges, which gives a 20% damage, 25% damage bonus, and combine that with the synergies that come from using this thing with a Strand subclass, and it is the clear choice for a lot of different builds out there and a lot of different activities. And so guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.